Welcome back, everybody, as we wait to jump live this morning into the Derek Chauvin trial with the continued testimony of Genevieve Hansen, an eyewitness who took the stand yesterday about what she saw, what she heard. This was just a sense of every of the different bystanders we did hear from yesterday, and there were several. And I want to get into that because as we wait to jump live, we still have to understand what happened yesterday. And one of the witnesses that I'd like to address was minor witness number 2. Now, there were several minors there, or people who were minors and now are adults, but the way they were treated, there was no videotape, no live stream of their actual testimony, no videotape of it, but there was an audio of it. So you're going to hear what this witness had to say. You just won't see her. But take a listen because it doesn't change the impact of her words.
So, is it your voice asking about a badge number and saying he's not moving, things like that?
Yes.
And then someone said he hasn't moved, and then in over a minute, was that your voice too?
Yes.
Why was that important for you? That in terms of saying over a minute, were you worried about the length of time that this was going on?
Yes, because I knew time was running out, or that it had already.
What do you mean by time was running out?
That he was going to die.
So, doctor, let me start with you. Having minor witnesses talk about what they saw, that really traumatic event, what goes through your mind?
You know, I really hope that she's been able to talk to a mental health professional. I don't know where she is in her overall development. I don't know where she is in terms of how she understands death or the concept of death. She seems pretty sophisticated. But still, witnessing something like this can absolutely impact you, and you have to address it in a very calm and relaxed way. And I really do hope that she's been able to talk to someone.
Now, Julie, you heard Brian before say that one of the reasons the state might be having these minor witnesses testify in succession is to support maybe a higher sentence if Derek Chauvin is found guilty, the idea of committing a crime in front of these minors. What did you think of that?
So I think that's an incredibly important point. And so I think that I would hope that the prosecutor has several, tactics, and one of them being the potential that if he's found guilty of the top count, that there's potential exposure for something higher. Whether that existed or not, I think the prosecution would still have put on these minors. Why? Because you still want the jury to know the impact that what Chauvin did on everybody out there, large, small, adults, and children. And even, each individual had a different perspective. They were standing in a different location. Not everyone was on top of each other. So each person has their own perspective in regards to what they watched. And hearing a child talk about it, by the way, like an adult would, knowing that the life is leaving George Floyd is something that the jury is not going to be able to walk away from.